Hey guys, this is me Kunal Buch, your life coach, and we are here on Tranceformission. Our channel always is here to help support and pass on the information and get you to meet new people and to talk about some new topics. And today we are going to be talking to none other than one of my favorites, Deepa Thukral. And it's not about Deepa, it's about Deepa's journey and her journey to touch people's life. So, guys, put your hands together for our very own Deepa. Okay, so how are you feeling today, by the way?
Thank you, Kunal, for having me on this transformation show. And it's a pleasure to be your guest here and share my opinion about my experiences on this beautiful journey, what we have also shared together.
Definitely. So, uh, I mean to start with, there are a lot of people who plan a lot of questions, but for me to ask you something because I have a different image of Deepa that I actually met, but a very simple and a very first question that runs in my mind is what and how does Deepa get into this journey of yoga? So before we start to that, I want you to tell people who you are because it's in a bio link, but still you can address them and tell them what do you do, who you are, and stuff like that.
Thank you, Kunal. So, namaste, I'm Deepa Thukral, and I'm the founder of Yoga with Deepa. I am a yoga teacher, a yoga therapist, a yoga educator, and most importantly, I believe in sharing the yoga way of life to one and all. So, my journey with yoga started much earlier, more than about 22 years, 25 years back. When I wasn't feeling well, I have always had gut issues since childhood. And at one point in life, when my a very famous renowned gastroenterologist did all the best that he could do, and in the final prescription that he told me to leave, and the final statement that he wrote on the prescription was join yoga class. And that led me to the world of yoga to start learning as a student, and eventually today sharing about it much more in a much deeper sense to many students across.
Very good. So you heard it. You never know how God or the universe or the doctors or the relatives would give you the message to go join yoga, and that's how her journey into the yoga started. So we heard that how yoga entered your life or you entered yogic life. But very curious question from my end: how did you decide to become a yoga teacher? What was that push, pull, or that intuition that got you into training people?
Wonderful. So when I started learning yoga from a teacher, and I was comfortable to start learning from a couple of teachers, and I kept enjoying yoga really well. To quote, not yoga but yoga asanas and pranayams. However, with due respect to a very good teacher that I had all these years, it was very effective, and my health was improving physically, mentally. But I always felt there was something amiss. कुछ तो कम है, कुछ कमी है जो पूरी नहीं हो रही है. And I tried figuring it out with the teacher also, but it didn't happen. And it left me a little empty at some point कि कुछ ज़्यादा है इसमें जो मुझे enjoy नहीं करने दे रहा है या experience नहीं मिल रहा है. And secondly, also my then job, which was of copy editing, writing, and being a blogger and an editor to luxury websites, was draining me of my physical and mental health. And at one point in life, I decided that what's the point of you earning money and spending time in making a career that's going to ruin my health, physically and mentally. That's when I decided to take off from there. And the very next mail I wrote to the Yoga Institute that I need to enroll for a teacher training course. Two reasons: one, to take care of my health physically, mentally, and second, also if there was any scope of financial freedom, also to gain more financial prosperity. So both of it has worked well in my favor.
So very good. I think the best part, what I liked over here was that, keeping that introspect on that, though you have everything, there's something missing. So trying to find out what is missing.
That was a main lead.
And I think it takes a lot of guts. I mean, a lot of courage to let go an almost established, or you must say more than established, career as a blogger, as a writer, which is like a big thing now, we all know, and to do something not just for yourself, but while helping others, you're helping yourselves also, like yourself by like being a financially free, obviously,
Correct.
and getting into yoga. So I think big hand for this. I really appreciate this. Too good. One question that I, as a child, used to think, and eventually now a lot of parents I see, okay, what is the right age to do yoga? What age you can start, or what age you should be serious, or when you should stop doing yoga. So some light on how yoga is important, one, and second, for what age group is yoga applicable.
See, let us start understanding, Kunal, that yoga is a way of life. So, asanas, pranayams, kriyas, meditation, a lot more, nutrition, and everything is all a part of the holistic way of living. And thankful to our culture and to our beautiful, rich heritage, we have been blessed with this way of living since centuries and since thousands of years. So, yoga is a way of life. So there is no specific age to start and end. If you're living, you are practicing yoga. So the moment you're born, your life is on. And when you breathe your last, your life is off. So in between, whatever you do is way of life, which is yoga. So you can say you are yogaing all your life. That said, technically, if you go to ask me the next question, which is when to start the teaching, learning. So children at the age of 12 can start. That said, we have taught children below 12 also, 8, 10, but that's in a very simple, playful way, right? But we introduce them to concepts because they are very curious to learn. So those concepts are introduced, and then, of course, practicing. Again, technically, the age is 80 and 88 plus, but till your last breath is what I believe in.
Too good. Well, while asking this question, I already had a lineup of question, which I had it in mind, which I get to know that it's not only you who's teaching yoga, but also your mom.
Yes.
So obviously, you girls are anti-aging, I know, but your mom teaching yoga at this age where she is a grandmom. So please put some highlight on that. So I really like what you said, but while I was asking you this question, I was listening to your answer. I have one more secret about your life, which I get to know is that it's not only you who is teaching yoga, but also your mom. I believe she is a grandmom of lovely outgrown teenage. Like I think you have kids who are 20 plus, and at this age, your mom is teaching yoga. I need some highlights on that.
Yeah, Kunal. So, well, when I enrolled for the teacher training and when I experienced there is so much more to life than what we are just living, but than what a common man is living. Uh, I did try to convince her initially only that join me along, and but at that moment she wasn't ready. And it's how it is said, when the time is right, the teacher appears. So also because she lost her husband, that I lost my dad, and after that she was very much lost. And though she would keep herself busy, but eventually I convinced her to come to the institute and enroll for a 7-day course. After that, there is no looking back, and then she enrolled for the advanced ETC course at the age of 72. And she became a teacher, an advanced teacher. And the highlight is that she now teaches all senior citizens of her age. Why? Because she herself is a senior citizen, and the way she practices, she can connect to all the problems of the senior citizens and she can give them all solutions. So it is a big blessing that at the age of 74, she's still rocking in her career. I can
Commendable,
say.
commendable. I mean, more than only yoga, I think the attitude of helping, even when you are growing, you feel so dependent, or you feel okay, I'm alone. So you mentioned she lost her husband, but still, letting go those things,
Yeah.
emotional baggage or emotional strength that she's gathered, I would say, leaving the baggage off, and not just making her own journey, but also helping others.
So that's the USP. When she realized that I'm not only physically healthy, but mentally also I'm becoming so strong. Emotionally, she's become so balanced. At the age of 70 plus, if you think physical, mental, and emotional balance and strength is coming and increasing, she's just sharing it with all her age people, and everyone is thankful about it.
Amazing. So I am going to join one batch of hers, though I am not senior citizen, but I'll be happy to be in her class. It'll be fun. But while you answer this question, it brings my attention to the next one, that what is that, maybe one thing or few things about yoga that is must in every age group or every human's life, like why they should do yoga, like not just fitness, or I mean these are the common terms that people use, but something that you have found or mom has found, that one thing.
Yes, so I mean, it's a question that we can go on for the next 24 hours and discuss. But so yoga, as I mentioned, is a way of life, and it's a holistic approach of way of living. However, if you have to sum it up all in one word, and if one word that just does justice to yoga is mindfulness. Mindfulness. So right from the initial years, when we are mindful about ourselves, our body, our thoughts, our emotions, and we are accepting it, and we are living with it, and we are in a balanced state of mind, then that is yoga way of living. And that is very, very important aspect or USP of yogic lifestyle. So being mindful is one, and to go parallel with it is maintaining a balanced state of mind in any situation at any age.
True. I think these some of your answers have resolved some of my doubts also, because we feel we are done with all the doubt, but it's like refreshing yourself, rebooting yourself. So while talking to I'm anyways resolving myself, and that's the power of talking to somebody who's knowledgeable and still a student to life.
Yes,
And
yes, a complete student to life, and more than knowledgeable, I feel it is the experiences that just come through. I mean, it's not information, but I have lived it, I am experiencing it, and I would love that every person experience it and enrich their living.
super. I think you're amazing. One question is definitely a part of my list, which I won't end this interview until I ask that, and that answer is very important for me. Uh, so that was amazing to hear the entire set of answers that you gave. And Deepa, actually, what happens is that when I listen to you, even in the class or even while we are talking, it also resolves some of my unsolved queries. We feel that we've come to a level where we know everything. We are self-coached or we've learned. But after some time, you also need some answers. And while talking to you, I'm getting resolved. But before we move on or before we end this interview in the next few questions, one question is my favorite, which I'm going to ask you. So, guys, this is one track record with the great. Actually, I want to call her Deepa Ji, but the way she looks, I don't want to call her G. Uh, with Deepa, I've seen one thing in so many years that I have been learning yoga with her. Obviously, I keep bunking in between. Not a single day she's taken a break. She wakes up early morning and she's there on the online, internet and physical class sharp by 6:15, 15 minutes prior to the class time. How can you do this on and on, years after years? So how can you go on without bunking? Don't you feel lazy? Don't you feel like it's okay? I mean, big deal. I can bunk. So, what do you?
So, Kunal, um, discipline comes with habit making. It's an effort that one puts in. Once you make it a habit, it becomes a way of life, and hence a discipline becomes a way of life. That said, thankful to my gurus and my teachers who have mentored me, and the gurus who I haven't even met, but I have read about them, and they have always set an example for me that come rain, come shine, come birth, come death, the show must go on. It's my duty It's my responsibility and I have to execute it to my best potential. So I think that's the power, the energy, and of course the blessings of the divine and the gurus. Because every time I start my class, I always bow down to the divine. I bow down to my gurus. I ask them to guide me, and I think it's their energy that just leads me on and on.
Super. That's so spiritual. Super. I mean, I would, wish every one of us to at least have, to begin with, to have 50% of what you have in the discipline. And, I totally agree that, to have a great life, and it's not that she's doing it for herself. Okay. So it's as simple as that for any tutor or a coach to just say, okay, fine, I'm going to bunk today, I'm going to replace the class. But it has never happened that unless until she's really down with some nose choke up or something like that in the some seasonal. But otherwise, in 3 years, like 365 days into 3 years, if I have been doing yoga with her, maybe 3 4 years, 1000 दिनों में शायद 2 दिन शायद छुट्टी ली होगी, और वो भी हमने सोचा होगा भाई छुट्टी ले तो हमको भी सोने मिले. So I think that's amazing. So yes, superb. So loved hearing you. Now we are excited to know what next for Deepa. What is next in your mind in this journey?
So, I take each day as it comes, of course. That said, I do have my goals and my bucket list on. I would love to learn and study a lot more. Having said that, I would love to um, enrich myself, or I'd rather say empower myself by shifting my focus a lot more towards pranayams and meditation for myself personally, and get a little more balance, a little more sanity in the mind, and feel more at ease and peace, irrespective of whatever changes are going around me and my family and my loved ones.
Totally. I mean, if that's her plan, I think we should keep following her, and we also get to the right route. If somebody said, never reinvent a wheel, you already know. So we have great gurus like her, and it's not just yoga teacher or a yoga coach, like how people have made it too modern, too fancy, and pay the fees, do yoga, and you're done with it. That's not the case when it comes to Deepa, because I thought, why not a fancy name? But she's a yoga with Deepa. I mean, it's a different experience, because the moment you see a dedication of your guru, your teacher, you are forced to be disciplined, and eventually you start loving that discipline. Even if you know that, okay, you might have to leave the class halfway through, but you will still get up to be in that class, be on the mat, because you have teachers and gurus like Deepa. Superb. I think I loved hearing all that what you said.
I'd like to add here one
Please.
thing. As you mentioned that kya karna, and as I said that peace of mind or state of mind is what my goal is eventually. So what I have learned always is that it's very easy to leave the householder responsibilities, go to a forest or a mountain and become a yogi.
Correct.
However, it requires a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of discipline to stay amongst the householder life, amongst all the challenges of this worldly life, and yet be able to maintain your state of mind like a true yogi, which is what the goal is. So, that is the entire objective of staying here, not running away anywhere, and living a yoga way of life and enhancing it.
See, one more point we got, becoming yogi doesn't mean leave your family, go on the mountains, be in the jungle. If you can manage the hustle bustle, the rush of the family life, at the same time giving your life for your students or your next generation, and doing your yoga and practicing your things in the right discipline, I think that is what you call it as balancing. And after all this, she's saying that she still wants to pursue another level of balancing her life. And I think what better than being a student always. Superb. I think this has gone amazing. One last question, and the answer is for anybody who will ever watch this, is that one thing, one line, one word, one statement, that why they should get into yoga. And if they ever feel like, चलो योगा करते हैं, तो वो thought क्या होना चाहिए कि क्यों, why they should do yoga. One last thing.
If you're breathing, if you're alive, then you must practice yoga, because yoga is a way of life. It's going to enrich your health physically, mentally, emotionally, and you are going to be at peace and ease always. So practice yoga for your own self, for your highest good.
Too good. What a lovely piece of advice. If you're breathing, you need to do yoga, and I totally agree. And kabhi aapko lage, like you know everything, you're pretty flexible. I would tell you, do one demo class with her, and you will realize that, oh my God, my body is stuck somewhere. I need to get free. So that realization of knowing your body and trying to make it free through a beautiful culture of yoga and with a good guru, you might have somebody else amazing, but ever if you don't have anyone, I would always say Deepa is the right one to have or to begin with. And yes, this was amazing to be with Deepa, because now I am revealing one more part. Okay, I know her since the time Deepa's kids used to come to me for the dance class, which was like right bang opposite to her bungalow where we are right now. And she has seen me grow from a normal teenager to wherever I am today. And I have seen her grow from from a beti to bahu, mother of two kids. And it takes a lot of effort for a lady in the house to do everything that she's supposed to do. That world has, created that rules, that those no norms and, so-called duties, and still living for the world. I think here I would want to bring attention to all the women power out there, that you should never say, think, or feel lack of anything. With your household duties, you can pursue something. You can make a mark in this world, and what better than making mark in somebody else's life? So I think kudos to Deepa for this beautiful journey that you have created, not just for yourself but for all of us. And hope to see you in Deepa's online class. And Deepa ji, thank you so much for your time on such a short notice.
Thank you.
And keep practicing yoga, everyone. Take care. Stay tuned. See you.